Hello, I'm Fatal K. Welcome to the second episode of Rapper Retrospective, which is I think that's what I'm gonna call this series. Now I know it's been a while since I've done one of these because I've only done one, and that was the Uzi one that I did in like October. It's been freaking forever. It might have been November. It's been a while. It's been a pretty big while. That's because I've actually been scripting a lot of them. I want to get to where I can script a bunch and then record a bunch and then not have to go a while with really having to be pressured to making them in a decent time. Because right here I have 4, and this is just what I want to get. Apologize for my phone. I have 4 right here that these are just that I wanted to do today and get done today, and then upload these 4 like in the next coming months. I'm thinking I want to try and do these like maybe once or twice a month, maybe. I don't know. The schedule I'll have to get down later. But anyway, this episode is going to be Travis Scott. This will be a longer one than the Uzi one because I have this big of a script. And the rest of them are not really that big. But anyway, let's go ahead and dump straight into it. I'm going to do these in 4 categories. Well, no. 4 categories. And then, on this video, I'm not going to have one of these because I didn't script one for Travis, but I want to do something like a miscellaneous, like a kind of, just an overall thing about them that could hinder them from getting a higher rating, or boost them to get a higher rating. That isn't one of the other 4. Although I didn't script one for Travis because this one, I scripted the Travis Scott one after I did the Uzi one. And then after I scripted this one's when the whole overall hindering or boosting thing will happen. But anyway, that's probably this intro. Yeah, this is this intro done. The 4 categories are flow, production, vibe, and hooks/verses. Now, this one is a bit of wild card because hooks/verses, that's a weird one. I think the best way to explain what I was trying to go for in that one is which one they're better at and which one they are really good at doing and how good they are at both. So if they're really good at both, they get a higher rating. If they're really good at hooks but terrible at verses, that means they're probably going to get a lower rating because they can't do both. So that means if they're like Travis Scott, spoiler alert, he can do both really, really good, then I'll give him like a 9 out of 10. I'll talk about that in a minute because that's the 4th category. Now, the first category we'll talk about is flow. Travis Scott doesn't not necessarily have a set flow because he switches it up quite a bit, like quite a bit. They all sound nice. They all sound enjoyable. He has that type of flow and really just the type of sound in general. Just a flow you could just sit down and just fully immerse yourself in. Now, they're all unique. He is definitely not an artist that is like any other artist. All of his flows are unique. I'm trying to get the reflection off my glasses to go away, but I apologize for that. Anyway, they're all unique. They don't sound like any other artist. I'm going to prop this up right here so it doesn't look like I'm looking away from the screen. They're all unique. They're all really, really cool. They're all just really nice to listen to. He almost changes it up like every single song. Now, I'm not saying he does not have one flow. He has multiple flows, I guess you could say. He has a more slower one. He has like a faster one, for example. He kind of switches it up on the faster one. But for example, he can go with a faster flow. In, for example, Sicko Mode, he has a faster flow through 90% of that song, and it sounds really nice. Someone's downstairs with me. But anyway, I would give this category a overall 9 out of 10. the reason I'm deducting 1 point off is because the flow is not always perfect. And it is not always going to match every single beat you put on it. Now, it doesn't really match everything, every beat ever. That is deducting 1 point off. But it's still a 9 out of 10 because of how enjoyable, how unique, and how much he differentiates it. On to the next category, which is definitely the longest one, probably that I've scripted yet, is the production. This is a really, really, really big one. Because it is always a mood. And it's chosen so carefully, which you can really tell. I really don't think there's a single bad beat that Travis Scott has ever used. They are all so good and all so enjoyable and so experimental that it just makes it so much fun to use. Or not use, to listen to. And you can really tell that he picks them so freaking carefully and so I don't even know the word of, like, what's a synonym of carefully? So expertly that to make sure he can go off on. Now, the reason for this is probably because he was a producer himself before he really started going as an artist. Now, he always picks beats that will make sure you really get sucked in, really just immerse yourself into the sound that Travis tries to emit on the song. Now, one real thing that I don't necessarily like about it is because of the experimental type, not all of them are going to be good. For example, the franchise beat is really good, but it's really weird. Which, I mean, isn't really a problem. But then you have other beats where he gets so experimental that because of that, where he experiments with other beats, some of them are not always going to be good. Some of them are going to be bad. Well, I shouldn't say bad because there isn't any bad Travis Scott beats. I should say not as good, which again only deducts 1 point because that's nothing drastic because there's not a single bad one. In fact, I could bump that up to a 10 out of 10. I don't think I will, but I mean, I could. If I really thought about it, I could bump that up to a 10 out of 10. But for now, it's a 9 out of 10. To the next subject is his vibe. Travis is one of the most vibey artists out there. He has a song for every vibe, ever. You can listen to a bunch of different songs in any different vibe. If you're feeling more kind of laid back and more lo-fi, listen to Goosebumps. If you want to get real bumped up, listen to Sicko Mode or Franchise. If you're kind of sad, you listen to a song, I guess, like 90210, which is one of his best songs. Now, happy, sad, if you're, this is a funny one, if you're high, if you're baked, listen to a Travis Scott song. I personally don't have that experience, but, I'm sure other people have. But anyway, this gives me the feeling to give him a 10 out of 10 on this. Because the vibe is, as I explained in the Uzi video, when I say vibe, I mean overall. Like, how many vibes can you listen to? If you can only listen to him in a pump up, then you're not going to get that high of a score. However, if you're really good at the pump up, then that could bump you up a few points. But Travis, you can listen to him on any mood, and he's really good at that any mood. Sorry, I am not feeling too great. My throat is kind of scratchy, as you can kind of tell. And also my chest kind of hurts, and I have the hiccups, and it sucks. Well, not really the hiccups, but I'm getting bounces on my chest. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, on to the fourth category, which is the hooks and verses. Travis isn't really better at either one because there is always a really good Travis hook. There's always a really good verse. Now, I would say that Travis would probably be better at hooks because of his voice and the way his flow is, just makes his hooks really, really, really catchy and really nice to listen to. However, his verses are also really nice to listen to, which gives me to give him a 9 out of 10, because deducting 1 point off of him being a little better at hooks. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to have to redo that hook sauce verses, because I don't really get it myself, like how I'm doing it. But anyway, that's besides the point. Now, as I said, there isn't like an overall point here. No, there is. I mean, not overall, an extra topic, because I wrote this before I decided to do that. Like, for example, on this little key retrospective I've scripted, one of the overall topics is that he is a clone of Young Thug. But you'll get to that when I make that video. Another example on Andy Orr. Freak my child. I'll fix that in a second. He is an industry plant. Oh, wait, no, right there. He's a plant. You'll get to see that whenever I make that video. But I've not made that video, so you gotta be patient. And now my Travis script won't stay up. Freaking, I already know the last stuff. I already know the last part of it. Anyway, Travis is a this is the overall topic. Travis is a really, 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 really good artist. He is overall my third favorite artist ever to listen to. He is third in my top 3, which I don't take lightly. I mean that as a very serious compliment, because I'm very hard to get into my top 10 because I just like a lot of people. But anyway, I think he always has the best production. You can always listen to him no matter what mood you're in. There's always a Travis Scott song for you. His hooks are catchy. His verses are really good. He's just an awesome artist. And if you look at his freaking albums, Rodeo, how could you not listen to Rodeo? Rodeo is awesome. Astroworld, awesome. Birds Sing and the Trap Sing McKnight, awesome. And I have very high expectations for his next album, Utopia, which hopefully, let's pray, will be out in 2021. Because as of recording this, it is December 28th of Monday, and of 2020, I mean. It's probably going to be 2021 whenever I upload this. But anyway, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, because this is actually the first second video I've recorded since Christmas. No, fourth. But anyway, Travis overall is a really good artist. I love him so much. Overall, I would give him a 9 out of 10. I'm only deducting that 1 point off because 3 out of the 4 were 9 out of 10s. And he's a really good artist. And if you haven't listened to Travis Scott, then 1, you've been living under a rock. 2, you listen to drastically different music. 3, you need to, you're just not there. But anyway, go listen to him if you haven't, which you probably have, you should have. But anyway, that's beside the point. Travis Scott overall is going on my third on my top 10 rappers. And I love him so much. Go listen to him. I'm Fatal K. Goodbye.